occurred at Bowen Court and Flint River Road. Is that correct?
I believe it was off of Kendrick Drive and Flint River Road.
Okay, and what's located at that secondary address?
It was the U-Haul self-storage.
That's where you initially responded?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened? What were you advised when you got there?
When I was dispatched to that area, it was a burglary in progress, like a commercial burglary in progress when we were en route to that location.
And when you got there, it was dispatched as a burglary in progress. Is that what you just said?
Yes, ma'am.
When you got there, was a burglary still going on?
When I arrived there, we had units from Riverdale Police Department that had already arrived on scene, and they had spotted a male subject matched in the description to the burglar in progress. At which point he fled from them, and they had apprehended him by the time we had arrived on scene.
So he was already being held at the scene by Riverdale when you got there?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were you advised as to what happened?
They advised me that they responded due to the nature of the call, and they were closer to the incident location than we were. And when they arrived, they spotted a male matched in the description. And when they tried to make contact with that male, he fled from them. At which point they had to chase him down and apprehend him.
Okay, I got that part. That's the chase and stop part. But why was he being chased? What led to the call being sent out to begin with?
We received, I believe it was the alarm came from the location, and then the owner was looking at the security cameras, which prompted him to call 911 when he realized there was somebody in his business.
And when you say inside the business, what do you talk about? Like inside the fence, or actually physically inside of a building?
Actually, physically inside the main office building itself.
Did you have any contact with the owner of the property?
I had a third-party contact that was the manager that actually lived on scene in the apartment that was above the office building.
And did the entry occur? The manager lived in the apartment above the office, correct? Is that what you just said?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the entry occur?
The entry occurred on the ground level. So the way the structure is set up is you have the ground level that's the actual office space itself, and then around back there's a secondary entrance upstairs to the actual apartment that is attached to the business. So they're two separate areas, but the entry occurred on the back rear side of the actual office itself.
Could the manager see what was going on inside of the office?
When she accessed the cameras as well, she was able to. Yes, ma'am.
Did she go downstairs to see what was going on in the office?
No, ma'am.
What could she see from the cameras?
She just saw the subject inside, and just actually going through the office itself, which is what prompted our response.
Was anything damaged inside the office?
No, ma'am, because the later on, after things started to clear up and we started to figure out what was going on, the subject was an employee of the establishment, so he was able to actually use his PIN code to gain entry into the building itself.
So he didn't force entry; he just let himself in.
Correct.
Was anything taken from the property?
Yes, ma'am. There was a petty cash packet that he had taken.
About how much do you know?
No, off the top of my head, no, ma'am.
Did the victim advise law enforcement as to how much was taken?
I believe she said around $300 to $500 was supposed to be in the envelope.
Okay. Was Mr. Summerlin given permission to return and enter the property?
No, ma'am.
Was he currently employed, or had he been fired?
No, he was currently employed, I believe. I believe it was his first week there.
What was he supposed to be doing there?
He had stated.
Excuse me, officer. I'm object to relevance on what his job duties have to do with this.
May I be allowed to respond?
Yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
Okay. Judge, if he was actually an employee on the premises and he was currently employed on the premises, it could be argued that he had permission to be there. So that's what I'm trying to determine. What were his duties and would they have involved him being able to enter, particularly at that time of day?
All right, it's overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Were you advised as to what Mr. Summerlin's duties were?
Yes, ma'am. I believe he was basically like a clerk or something like that. Like I said, it was his first week, so they was just kind of, because they already had the manager, so he was like an assistant manager or something of that nature.
Would his duties involve him being there at that time of day?
No, ma'am.
Had he received any type of permission to enter at that time of day?
No, ma'am. Not from what the manager told me.
Okay. And the video that the manager observed, was that preserved in any way?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Do you know if law enforcement has it, has a copy of it?
If we do, it would be attached to the report.
Now, was Mr. Summerlin detained on this? Mr. Summerlin was detained by Riverdale, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Was he brought back to the location?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the victim, or excuse me, the manager able to confirm that that was the person she saw on video?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she shed some information on how she actually knew him?
Yes, ma'am. She stated that he was a new hire there.
Okay. And did he make any statements himself?
I remember he stated something like he was taking the money to the church that was across the street or something like that, because we was able to actually locate the petty cash envelope on him. So
Okay. You said the petty cash envelope was found in the defendant's person?
it was found in a backpack that he had with him.
How were you all able to determine that the envelope was what belonged to U-Haul?
We returned it to their location. They was able to identify it.
How did they identify it? It could have been anybody's.
Well, it had like receipts and things of that nature that was also in there that was related to them.
U-Haul paperwork was inside an envelope?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of are we talking about? What kind of envelope are we talking about?
Almost like a leather bag with like just a zipper on top.
A bank bag?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did Mr. Summerlin indicate he had permission to take the money to the church or anywhere for that matter?
Not that I recall.
But he did admit taking it from U-Haul.
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The conversation with Mr. Summerlin, was that held by Riverdale or was that done by Clayton County?
It was done by Clayton County.
And was it captured on body cam?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. What about the recovery of the bag? Was that on body cam also?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened to the bag?
It was turned into evidence.
What about the contents?
That was turned into evidence as well, ma'am.
U-Haul didn't get their money back?
No, ma'am. We entered it in as evidence.
I believe you may have already answered this, but in an abundance of caution, let me do it again. The witness, the manager, she observed Mr. Summerlin.
Yes, ma'am.
Was she able to confirm he was the same person that she saw in the video?
Yes, ma'am.
And you saw Mr. Summerlin that night also?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us if he is present in court with us today? If you see him, identify him by physical appearance or article of clothing.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to tell us.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you identify him by physical appearance or article of clothing?
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta tell us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Judge, I'm gonna object to that answer. She's asked him a yes or no question. He's giving her a yes or no answer. She asked him if
I asked him to identify him by physical appearance or article of clothing, Your Honor. I'm not sure if the officer is actually understanding what I'm asking though.
No, ma'am, I wasn't. I was expecting to be actually showing him.
That's why I asked you, could you see everybody in court today?
Oh, no, ma'am, I can't see him.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense then. Your Honor, that's all I have. Reserved right for redirect.
Okay. Cross-examination?
Thank you. Officer, if I understand, Riverdale already has Mr. Summerlin in custody when you arrive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. My apologies.
Yeah, I understand. I get you was in the habit. I get it. Let me ask, because on direct, you said that the recovery of the bag was captured on video. Who recovered the bag?
Riverdale did.
So when you said captured on video, did that happen before you arrived on scene?
Yes, sir.
So it wouldn't be on your body cam then, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. What leads you to say that it's captured on video?
His body cams are worn by Riverdale Police Department as well.
Someone tell you that it was captured on their body cam?
No, sir.
Have you actually seen the body cam video?
No, sir.
I didn't quite catch it.
No, sir.
And on direct, I believe there's some testimony about the ability to use a PIN code. Did anyone actually verify that there was some entry of a PIN code at some point?
I'm not able to recall, sir.
And well, let me ask, because I don't want to assume I know you mentioned body cam video. Is there video from the incident location?
They had video evidence at the location. Yes, sir.
Have you seen that video personally?
Yes, sir, I did.
And in that video, first, is it color?
I'm not able to recall if it was in color or not, sir.
Are the lights on?
Yes, sir, I believe they were.
Are you able to see faces on the video?
I'm not able to recall.
As far as you know, the crime scene process location, like prints or anything like that, photos?
No, sir.
No further questions at this time.
All right, any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other evidence or witnesses on behalf of the state?
Not at this time.
Mr. Rogers, any witnesses or evidence?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Thomas?
I'll reserve.
Okay, one moment, Judge. I just need to take a look at something. Yeah, so Judge, my argument is gonna come down to I'll submit on the burglary allegation. I'm gonna move to dismiss on the obstruction charge. I'm not, there was no testimony about any particular lawful commands being given or being disregarded, any sort of lying, fighting,
He
anything
said
like.
Riverdale. You remember on direct, he said about Riverdale, had to chase him and apprehend him.
Right. I guess my issue with that, Judge, is that he's allowed to run. If they don't say stop, you know, something like that, like somebody has to tell them to stop. If they don't tell them to stop, then it's not obstruction. And that's my point, that there was no testimony about the specific circumstances of the flight, the apprehension, anything like that. So I'll move to dismiss the obstruction on that basis.
Okay, all right, Ms. Thomas?
Judge, I'll rest on the evidence as presented by the officer. I will say, as since the defense has conceded on the burglary itself.
Okay, I find sufficient probable cause for the burglary and then insufficient probable cause for the obstruction. This matter is adjourned.